Few games make a mark on the industry in the way Telltale's The Walking Dead did. The first season changed the game for storytelling games, combining decision-making, amazing characters, all in an episodic formula. The Walking Dead was truly special. And while Season 1 is one of the best and most important games of all time, the more interesting story is looking at the way the franchise was handled. From Season 2 being a bigger scaled version, taking the reins as Clementine, to Season 3 making some baffling decisions, having most of the game follow Javi, to Season 4 trying to duplicate in every way Season 1. This is the rise and fall of Telltale and later Skybound's The Walking Dead. I made a video discussing all the elements of Season 1 already, so I'll keep this part short. This season did everything right, having two of the best characters in gaming, in Lee and Clementine, and allowing their relationship to grow over 5 episodes in which you feel you have control over decisions being made was the core of this game. The story was simple but effective, focusing on survival and just people trying to survive. The game is one of the best supporting casts you'll ever see in a game, something the rest of the series actually does continue. Kenny jumps out immediately as one of the best supporting characters ever created. From meeting Clementine and assuming the father role all the way until the end, this game delivered emotion, shock, big decisions, and everything else you'd want in a narrative game. All of which concluded with the ending, one of the saddest and most memorable game endings of all time. I'm going to go on record to say that Season 2 of The Walking Dead is highly underrated. In many ways, it's far superior to Season 1, with the only weakness being its lack of simplicity and not having Lee to lean on. Season 2 is the very definition of bigger and better. Obviously, you have to try to outdo yourself, and Season 2 does the best possible job at it. From the opening of Episode 1, immediately throwing you into despair, to the rest of the episodes, it's completely natural playing as Clementine. She really gets to shine here again in a way you want her to. Clementine is by miles one of the best gaming characters of all time, and that didn't just happen because of Season 1. I'd argue Season 2 is pivotal in her character arc, aging her up just slightly, but still making sure we realize she's a kid. She's gonna make mistakes, and she can't do everything by herself, even though we feel she sometimes can. This season keeps up with the strengths of the first game, the visuals are better, the scale is amped up, and the gameplay is better, and the game tries to cover more bases. One thing I didn't remember as well until I replayed it was the strength again of the supporting cast. There's no Lee, but this is quite the lineup. Carver is an amazing villain for the role that he was given. Luke is incredibly likable right from the beginning. Bonnie's a character that comes in late, but she still makes a mark. And Kenny. Let's just discuss Kenny for a little. The joy in my face when I had seen he had survived. I actually believed at the time of Season 1 that he didn't die. I remember telling my cousin, I remember saying out loud I would have made a video on YouTube if I had a YouTube channel. I was firmly in the camp that they purposely misled us with Kenny dying, that he actually did not die. His journey is incredible. He's a dynamic character. He's not a simple one. He's complex. And seeing him spiral while also knowing where his heart lies was truly something. I took the path to let him kill Molly. I wanted to stick with him until the end, and that's what I did. He's a shining star in Season 2 in every moment for one reason or another. But in its entirety, Season 2 is incredibly strong. Each episode, the Carver arc, the big moments, all leading to the Molly versus Kenny showdown where everything really is just falling apart. In many ways, it's actually my favorite season, and again, I truly believe in terms of going bigger and better, there's not many ways to do it better than this. Now we reach what I would label as the fall of The Walking Dead. Season 3 is not a bad game at all. I remember when the game first came out, I didn't like it. And upon replaying it, my thoughts are somewhere in the middle. The game does a really good job of making you care again about a brand new group of characters, a strength the series has always had. Javi, Kate, Tripp are all really good characters. My issue with this season lies simply with the decision making, taking the reins away from Clementine and making her a support character who you play as for a couple minutes each episode is astoundingly stupid. I never understood the idea to do that, and I still don't to this day. She's still, in my opinion, the best character in the season, and yet she's put off to the side. On top of that, this season has some of the most frustrating scenes in the entire series. I noticed this season, more than any, the disparity between the choices and what comes out of your mouth. Telltale has actually done an underratedly good job at conveying what kind of sentence will leave your character's mouth, with only a few words that you're able to see at the time that you're choosing. But in this season, I found I was picking decisions and the words said would be completely different than what I thought I was going to get. Again, this season tries to outdo the past, upping the stakes, bigger set pieces, an all-out war towards the end of the season, and more. But it just felt unnecessary. Javi and Kate are great characters, and they would have been better served as support characters for Clementine and her story, not the other way around. I don't have all that much to say about this season because it's easily the most forgettable of the four. It's in many ways the weakest, and the decision-making is the most off. Season 4 is all over the place, and I mean that in every possible way. There are some incredible moments throughout the season. The action, the visuals, and the gameplay are better than ever, by miles. And again, Telltale and then Skybound nails the supporting cast. But this season is also the most puzzling. Obviously, it's trying to replicate Season 1, replacing Lee with Clementine and Clementine with AJ. And it does this with varying degrees of success. There's times where I love the relationship between the two. There's times where you feel the weight of Clementine's influence over AJ, that he's truly looking up to you and what you do is really going to impact him. But I can't shake the feeling that it's trying too hard to just be Season 1 again. Seeing Lee again was phenomenal and is one of the most emotional scenes in the entire series, but replicating moments of Season 1, including Clementine's almost death scene, just felt too forced. It's not horrible. Again, I actually really love the circle of life in the way that Clementine almost went out, but they didn't go all the way. Season 4 struggles with very up and down pacing. There are some amazing moments, conversations, the action sequences are insane, and more. But there's also long stretches of episodes where I'd heavily argue you can completely remove them and nothing would change. I'm talking 10, 15, 20-minute segments that you can completely remove. And I truly believe this is the first and only time I've ever felt that in any of the 4 seasons. While Season 3, to me, is far and away the worst season of the series, I don't think this season bounces back as much as I would have hoped for. It has moments, but it relies on upping the stakes and action over trying something actually new. Most times, it's just trying to replicate what's come before. I want to make something very clear. The Walking Dead is a very special franchise. There's no bad episode, there's no bad season. While Season 3 is the weakest, and 4 doesn't do enough to bounce fully back, it doesn't make them bad. The series is very consistent in many ways. The side cast always has a way of being relatable, likable, and deep. The gameplay changes and evolves throughout the 4 seasons and always, in my opinion, gets better as you go along. But this is an example of a franchise I would have preferred to have stopped after Season 2. While I'll always take more of Clementine's version, provided they don't assassinate her character like the comics may actually be doing, I just feel the franchise peaked in many ways in Season 1. And then 2 was the bigger and better version you could get. Everything after almost felt forced, just doing it again, doing it just to do it. Again, they weren't bad, but they didn't have the same power and energy as those first 2 seasons, and didn't feel like they made an impact on the gaming landscape as much. Seasons 1 and 2 really made their mark, and I just didn't feel that from the last 2. Those 2 set an example for the industry for how you do episodic storytelling games. Seasons 3 and 4 didn't set any examples. It really took place during Telltale's final moments alive before they came back. At the end of the day, I love the series. I love Clementine, and I love the journey that we all went on. The first 2 were amazing, 3 was a huge step back, and 4 gave its all to try to reclaim what made Season 1 so special. Well, guys, I want to thank you so much for watching this video. If you ever have any suggestions for more essay videos, more games, more movies that you want me to talk about in this style, definitely let me know in the comments below. I got a movie actually next. There's the next video I'll be doing, and then I'm going to get into a different kind of game, okay? Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you all on the next one.